What's good, YouTube? Back again with another video. Today we have a man who believes the American dream is over for the average man. We'll play the video and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and reaction.
The American dream is over for the average man. The American dream is over for the average individual. Really take a step back and ask yourself, what did the American dream mean to you? Who told you what the American dream was? And what does it mean to you? Does it look like a house with a white picket fence, a couple kids, a spouse, couple vacations a year? See, 2, 3 generations ago, 4 generations ago, you could afford all of that just off of one income alone. And a dynamic was set, an idea was set. The fact that the man would go off to work, be a hard worker, 40-hour work week, would come home to.
Okay, so this gentleman believes that the American dream is over. Basically, you can no longer have the white picket fence, the family, the 2 kids, the dog. You know, pretty much everything you think of when most people think of the American dream. I believe the American dream is still alive and well. I think the problem that we have today is a lot of people are just lazy and they don't want to put the work in. Like I said, you just heard this gentleman mention working 40 hours a week, man. 40 hours a week, that's what the average person is doing. So how can you expect to get ahead and have more in life if you're only going to work 40 hours a week? Every person that I know that's successful, that's living well, at least at some point in time had multiple jobs and it was at least working 60, 70 hours a week, man. At least minimum 60 hours a week. This notion that you're going to be able to put in the least amount of effort or the bare minimum amount and be able to have all the luxuries in life is just it's fairy tale type thinking.
His traditional wife, would have 2 children, and they would live their lives. Nowadays, that is damn near impossible. Not only do you have to work, your spouse is going to have to work. I've seen households where even the kids have to work. Because again, what a lot of us like to do is we like to point out.
Usually if you have a situation like that where, I mean, you have the spouse, both spouse working and the kids, I mean, that was poor planning from the beginning. I mean, because if it was just you and your spouse and you guys were struggling, why would you introduce a kid into that type of equation? Like I said, a lot of this stuff comes down to poor planning.
The top percent of people. Well, look at this billionaire. Look at this millionaire. That's not the average person's case.
Come on, man. We always hear is people talk about some look at billionaires and millionaires. You do not have to be a billionaire or make anywhere near millions of dollars to have a comfortable life in America. Like I said, if you're making 300,000 family, well, with 2 people, I mean, outside of a California or a New York with an extremely high cost of living, you have a nice standard of living. Now, if you want to, the issue we have nowadays is people are trying to live like celebrities. People want to drive around in $150,000, $200,000 cars, $4,000 or $5,000 mortgages, vacationing every month, high-end designer clothes, handbags. Now, of course, when you're talking that type of lifestyle, yes, you probably are going to need 50, 60, I mean, yeah, about $50,000, $60,000 a month. And even then, that's not millions. But I mean, you could live comfortably off of $250,000 a year. You have, I mean, 2 people with 2 decent jobs. Y'all both make 100 some change. That's very doable. You could go out there and get a skill set that's going to pay you $125,000 a year and have a comfortable life.
Case. The average person's case is they're going to have to work 40 hours a week. And nowadays, you can't even work 40 hours a week. You have to be working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You have to have a side hustle on top of your full-time job just to maintain. And what these people are doing is they're gaslighting you into believing that, oh, bro, it's your fault. You're not working hard enough.
I mean, it is your fault. I mean, it's your life and you're in control of it. It's not that you're not, a lot of people are not working hard enough. They're just not being strategic and having an actual plan. Now, what I do agree on, the days of just working hard and thinking that that's going to be a winning formula, no, those days are long and gone. But what I mean, if you actually research your career, research the skills that you're getting, there's no reason why with some persistence that you shouldn't be able to win. Like I said, but the problem is you have people who want to do the bare minimum, want to be paid the most. You got people who want to work at Burger King and think they should make $25 an hour for flipping burgers. No, that's not the way. That's not the way it works. You know, you got people who don't have any real skill set, but yet think they're entitled to an above average wage. And it just does not work like that, man. That's the big thing I see. People don't want to take the time to invest in skill sets. They want to do what they love, or what I don't feel like doing this. Well, then don't be mad when you broke and not making no money.
But again, that's the reason why when you start to wake up and you start questioning things around you, you start making different decisions. I remember when I traveled out the country and I realized not only was it the same way that the prices were low for me, but when I looked at the economy of others, I realized that they're going through the same thing. However, they're not chasing materialism the same way that a lot of us Americans are, or a lot of us in the West. Because I know Canada has this problem. I know Australia has this problem. I know the UK has this problem. And of course, America has this problem. Why are we pretending? Why are we allowing ourselves to be gaslit into pretending that nothing's going on and everything is fine? You're just being weird. You're just being delusional. No, I'm not. And I know I'm not. If you've been feeling this way as well, let me know down in the comments, because we need to start recognizing, we need to start bringing this up in conversation. That way you realize that you're not crazy.
I believe stuff like this is honestly kind of like a waste of time. Complaining about, oh, things are too expensive, and oh, it's not my fault. It's the government's fault, and materialism. Man, you got to look at yourself first and be honest. A lot of people are trying to, they want results for work that they never put in, man. A lot of people want results for work that they never put in. And it is really that simple, man. We live in the age of the internet. Everything, before you do anything, you could literally get on your phone, Google, and have an idea, hey, what this career does. What's the job outlook for this? People don't want to do it. They want to be able to do whatever they want and think that just magically, because it's them and they think that they're special, that job is going to open up, or they're going to make this amount of money, even though that career that they chose doesn't pay.
That's one of the things that as one of the tools that's been used to separate us. You start having thoughts and you look.
And another thing, we got to stop using this word gaslight, man. We got to leave. Please, can we please leave that in 2024? When 2024 is over, let's leave the word gaslighting in 2024. I'm so tired of hearing that word, man.
Look around, you're like, well, I feel like something's going on. But the overwhelming majority, they'll make it seem like the overwhelming majority doesn't disagree with you, when in reality, the loud voices that don't disagree with you are simply the vocal minority. But when you get into groups like this, when you watch videos like this and you go to those comment sections and people are like, yeah, I agree, yeah, I agree, yeah, I agree. This is where you're like, okay, yeah, something's definitely going on. Because the one thing about me is I'm smart enough to realize that I'm not that smart at all. And so what I would do is I would always listen to my elders. I would look at the past, what the younger kids are doing. I'm looking ahead, what are the older people doing? And I'm realizing that if you aren't a person that was in the military and you did your 20 years and you were smart with your money, and you retire, you're getting paid for that. If you didn't have that type of pathway, or you weren't able to work for a job for the 40 years to save up a pension, if you didn't have that, the American dream is damn near dead for you. And even some of those people on that path, again, we talked about this the last video, they were so close to getting the things that they were wanting to, just for something traumatic like a divorce to happen. And now they're set back 10, 15, 20 years.
I mean, to his point about a traumatic event happening, such as a divorce. I mean, that had nothing to do with the career pathway. That had more to do with who they chose to get with as a spouse. I mean, we all know, probably even before your career, one of the biggest choices that you're going to make in life is who you decide to link yourself with for a lifetime. I mean, if you make a poor choice with who you chose to lay down with, I mean, you're screwed. You're screwed from the beginning.
This isn't what I signed up for. See, a lot of us realize that the things that we want, we're like, oh, we want this, we want this, we want the Lamborghini, we want the big house, we want all these things. And you're told this from a kid that, yeah, this is the things that you want. But as I start to get older, as I start to discover who I am as a man, I realize, listen, Lamborghinis are cool. Really big houses are cool. Listen, they're cool. But do I really need that? Are these things really going to make me fulfilled? And the answer is no. I remember I went out the country and I stayed in a very modest place. It didn't even have AC. And listen, I was more fulfilled in that place than I was in my $1,500 apartment.
I'm calling Cap. I could be wrong, but I'm calling Cap. You telling me he went to some overseas country and was living somewhere with no AC, and he was more happy than over here in America where his apartment had AC, or he would prefer that over a big house and a Lamborghini? Come on, man. Honestly, I think, like I said, it sounds like to me, like I said, this is my first time checking out this gentleman's video. I will leave the link in the description for his YouTube channel. It sounds like he's given up on life, honestly. And it's sad to hear, because it's like I said, he doesn't seem like is that old. Looks like he's definitely probably under 40. And to hear a man, especially a black man, talking like this is kind of very disheartening. Because it sounds like I said he's given up. He has a defeatist mindset. He believes that if you didn't get a military, go to the military or get a job with a pension, even though that way of thinking is so antiquated, that's dead. Thinking that you're going to be at a job for 40 years now, that way of thinking and his mindset is dead and gone. Like I said, if you're still thinking like that, you're already way behind the 8 ball.
With AC and working 60 hours a week, I was much more fulfilled. I would get up, I would walk more, I would eat fresh fruits, I would eat fresh vegetables. I realized in that moment that the things that I am chasing, they aren't the things that I've wanted. The things that I have been chasing are the things that they have told me that I wanted. And when I sit back and I realize, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I want. I said, okay, I need to make a change. If you watch my video, I'm starting over at 28 from 0. If you watch that video, this is what I realized. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is what I want to. So I'm downsizing everything. I don't want anything to hold me back here. I want to go all in on digital marketing because, again, the one problem that you have if you're trying to leave this country is you need a source of income. That's where digital marketing comes into play.
Now, I do agree with his point on this age we're in. I do believe digital media is very important. Having some type of digital real estate, whether it's a YouTube channel, some one of these social media platforms. Because think about it, we're all on these platforms for such a large amount of time per day. So I mean, if you're just consuming content and not producing anything, I think you're headed down the wrong path. So I do agree with him on that point. And also, like I said, the freedom that comes with what they call Wi-Fi money.
I've talked about digital marketing before, but it's a way that you can make a full-time income online. And so I'm taking courses. Listen, if you want to follow in those same footsteps, you want to make a full-time income online, listen, there's plenty of free material out there. Me personally, I'm doing free material and I'm buying courses. If you're interested in the course that I bought, which really helped me set the foundation, that's going to be in the description box below. But again, you don't have to do that. You can do this you can take the free route. Just understand that it's going to take longer. And so that's what I'm going all in on. This is why I make these videos. This is why I'm starting my own brand. This is why I'm doing all these things. I'm attacking life the way that I'm attacking. I'm letting my beard grow out. I'm letting my hair grow out. I'm focusing on the things that truly matter to me as a man. And when I realized that, it's been giving me such a power, such a fulfillment, because again, we have been lied to. This is not the American dream. This is something that they sold to the working class. This is something that they sold to poor people to say, hey, listen, if you work hard enough, if you work long enough, if you save your money, you're going to be able to get the very things that you want. But when you sit back and ask yourself, what are the things that I really want? You realize these things don't take much. Listen, I've had conversations with a lot of people. And when I really boil it down and I ask them what it is that they want, it's very simple things. Ask yourself, what is it that I want? When I talk to the average man, you know what he wants? He wants a cool place, nothing extravagant, just a cool place, a great community, a great spouse, girlfriend, friends with benefits, wife, whatever. He wants to be able to go outside and not really worry about money too much. But again, what activities are you
Come on, man. I think the average man wants more than just a cool place, a cool what did he say? A cool place, a wife or a girlfriend. Come on, the average dude wants a nice car, a nice place, an attractive woman, and these things cost money. Like we gotta stop trying to run from the money and try to make it seem like, oh, I just want to. Most dudes ain't trying to live off the earth, okay? Like, come on, man. We gotta be. You gotta. I think what's happening now is, like I said, dudes have given up on life, so now they're trying to brainwash themselves into thinking, hey, I'm just gonna live this minimum lifestyle. I don't, I'm not, I'm gonna shop at the thrift shop, and I don't want to drive around in a nice sports car or a nice SUV. I'm just gonna get a $1,500 beater. I'm like, come on, man. Who wants to live like that? That's not living. That's not living, and you don't have to live like that. It's so much opportunity. You could say what you want about America, but it's so much opportunity. That's why you have people who literally kill. They literally kill themselves and trying to make it over here to America. They know, man, if I just can make it over here, I got a chance. And you got dudes like this who just sit and cry and complain instead of trying to make something shake. Like, oh, the woe is me and the government, and we've been brainwashed. It's like, come on, man. Dudes are so weak nowadays.
doing that cost a lot of money? Listen, I like to go fishing, man. Fishing don't cost that much money. It can, but if you're trying to bare bones, it don't cost no money.
Oh, come on, man. You telling me if you're into fishing, you wouldn't like to have a nice fishing boat, nice expensive rods. This stuff costs money. This having this mindset that, I mean, you just want the bare basic and bare minimum out of life is very dangerous, because at the end of the day, we all know life is so unpredictable. And you never know what's coming down the pipe, whether it be a injury, you know, who knows what type of traumatic event that could happen, and you need money to protect you. So trying to run and trying to avoid getting to the money, you only hurt yourself in the long run.
I like to ride quad bikes. You know what I'm saying? I like to work. I like to
Again, come on, you like to do motocross? That's not cheap. Bikes are not cheap to buy. This stuff all costs money. So why not go get the skill sets that you need so you can have a work-life balance where you can still have some nice things. No one's saying going overboard with materialism, but you can still have nice things, and then you can still enjoy your time as well. You work hard, you play hard.
drive ATVs, dirt bikes, four wheelers, jet skis. These things don't cost a lot of money. And again, the beautiful thing about it is you don't have to own all these things outright. When you're a part of a community, you can easily rent it. Easily rent it. Want some land, a couple chickens. The things that I want don't cost that much money. It doesn't cost that much money at all. And so now I just have to find the environment that is perfect for me. I'm not naive. I understand that I'm not going to be able to go to I'm not chasing this perfect place. But what I can chase is a perfect place for me, a personalized place for me, a place that holds my values at hand. The place that I like may not be the place that you like. But again, that's okay. That's what makes us different. But really ask yourself these things. Do you really need the Lamborghini? Do you really need the mansion? Do you really need all of these things?
I think like he's really dealing kind of with extremes. Okay, do you necessarily need a Lamborghini? No. Lamborghinis are, several $100,000, but that doesn't mean that do you not want a nice luxury car? Do you not want a nice luxury sports car that maybe is 60,000, 70,000? That's just the price of these things, 80,000. Okay, maybe you don't need a 3 or 4 or 500 plus thousand dollar Lamborghini, but that doesn't mean that you still can't have something nice. Okay, maybe you don't have a mansion, but you could still have a nice home, and that's going to cost you, I mean, several hundred thousand at least, if not more. These things cost money, man. So instead of like trying to run from the money and trying to play all these mental gymnastics of why you can't make money, why don't you just go get it? That's just the way I see it.
Things that are designed to keep you on this hamster wheel to go broke? For me, that answer was no. And when I realized that answer was no, I told myself I'm going to do something about it. So listen, all the people who are going to go in these comments and gaslight me and pretend like I'm just not working hard enough and all this, you can say what you want to say, but understand something. I have a plan and I have a goal in mind, and I'm going to chase that goal every single waking moment of my day until I'm able to reach it. Because I know as a man that as long as I stay consistent, as long as I stay disciplined, as long as I stay dedicated, I can get that goal. And a lot of people...
I mean, if you apply this same mindset of discipline, staying consistent, staying dedicated, it's that same mindset is what you need to make it to the top. I mean, like I said, I just think it sounds like he's kind of giving up on life, man. Like I said, I hate to see young brothers already so young and already giving up.
I know on this journey they're going to try to gaslight you into believing that you can't move out the country, you can't do these things, you can't afford these, you can't go all in on digital marketing, you can't have this, you can't. They always tell me that you can't. But I don't believe that. I believe that I can. I believe that you can. If that's something that you truly want and you're willing to go after it and sacrifice for it, you could definitely get it the same way that I'm going to get it. Because a movement is happening. A movement is happening. A lot of people can deny it, but a movement is happening. There are people who are not accepting this. There are always going to be individuals that uphold the system. But understand something. There is no more middle class. They are going to put you to two categories. You have money or you don't have money. And the people who don't have money, you're going to be minimum working 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
So if that's the case, that you're going to have poor people and rich people, right? If that's what you truly honestly believe, which side would you rather be on? The poor side or the rich side? So if you know this, why spend your time complaining and not using that same energy and same time to go get the money? If that's what you believe, that it's inevitably going to be poor and rich, no middle class, which I mean, I actually kind of agree with that point, Why don't you just focus on getting the money, getting the skill sets that you need to be on the rich side? You can't, like I said, you can't worry about everybody else. All you could do is first worry about saving yourself and then the people around you.
Just so you can stay above water. Meanwhile, the rich is always going to get richer. Because if you study business and money the way that I have, trust me, when you have a lot of money, it's very easy to make a lot of money. But when it's the opposite and you don't have 100,000 to your name and you're working up to that part, your first 100,000 is going to be the hardest 100,000 you've probably ever had to collect in your life. Listen, I don't want to rant too long, but listen, if you're feeling the same way that I'm feeling, let me know down in the comments. I like when you...
All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the American dream is over for the average man or just the average person in general? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.